coming from tank players just to directly block bullets for their team. Typically, we'll find a lot more player on the map corners, map angles. Often people going for cheeky flanks and stuff. Yeah, Dion loves this.
Yeah, they get to use the environment a lot more.
Yeah, that's difficult. I'm just gonna say Jewish.
Exactly.
Which is great.
I wonder who are these people?
Kind of,
are they
that
from...
was one of the first things that came out of our original playtesting, and we were just like,
oh wait, can we
really
look at the new
direction. I mean, like I mentioned, there's
look?
Like, you know, as a designer, you sort of have to look past the immediate problems in front of you, and like, okay, we could fix those. Like, I think we can address
doesn't have a new look.
Some of the tank imbalances and healing issues and all that kind of stuff. But
look
at
like
the heart of this, which is really cool,
so
that's really what we've been focusing
on. Watching
through these problems.
Overwatch 2.
I think something that's really interesting about that too is the gameplay is more fluid than it was before.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of times in Overwatch,
I'm really curious how it's gonna work.
Really hard battle lines that
get
drawn
monkey
between the two teams, and there's just less damage incoming, and so you're able to kind of move around a little bit more. And you'll see it here. A lot of times, the chokes aren't as hard of a space to get through. There's still a choke in the map.
Reinhardt's
gonna
be
have to work at it. But there can be a lot more
Reinhardt, Orisa, Sigma
and pulling back on the choke, and it's something that I'm like personally really excited about.
Yeah, I was going to say, how has the 5v5 move affected map design? I feel like it kind of has to have a huge impact on what you guys are able to do, create different. Speaking about like players being able to take more control of the game, right? Creating more flanking routes, more opportunity for the Ashe to go to the side, get a pick, and open things up for a team.
Yeah, there's a lot more opportunity for players to do that. But at the same time, when you go for a flank, you're not leaving 5 players behind. You're leaving 4 players behind. And so you kind of have to be weighing some of these decisions in your head. The game is just as strategic as it was before. If not more so because of the individual ability for players to have such a large impact on the match. I think for map design, we've always been really careful to make spaces that feel good just for one hero. And sometimes we might favor particular heroes in different areas. But because of that, because we're able to make a space that kind of feels good for Reaper or a space that feels good for Pharah,
that's pretty cool.
I think that we'll still be able to play 5v5 on all of the original catalog.
That's a pretty cool payload.
Well.
Oh, look at
that is
look at Mercy
awesome
pocketing Genji.
We've always.
All right, so Genji have the same stuff. Dash,
cover objects,
and then
it just feels
deflect.
Now with the
nothing new there.
We'll take advantage of that more.
So I'm just laughing at your reaction to it. It's just
cover objects to help protect.
I love Overwatch.
Now with 5v5, they're even more effective. These
I'm like trying to see all these new things.
It's such a great point too, because we have started placing a little bit more cover in our maps. And if you go back to some of the old maps, like if you look at King's Row, that middle section, that street section of King's Row, there's one piece of cover.
Pharah seems like it's the same.
It's just corners of buildings is what you're using.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. I think you can kind of see it here, even with stuff like that. I know the taxis here in the streets. You have the little kind of windows, the pillar to hide behind in the middle. There's a route through the subway. There's so many different kind of angles you can take. Something we saw at BlizzCon Line was the 2 fire strike charge cancel.
Reaper's the same.
I noticed something before, Jeff, when we were on with Winston. My Winston on live not able to shoot at range. Can you explain that to us a little bit?
So yeah, I was wondering if people picked up on that. So we were first watching Winston there. This is an example of some of the tank changes we're talking about in regards to 5v5, but also a larger change we're talking about making tanks a lot more aggressive, be able to be a little more hybridy on the damage side and less just raw protection.
Yeah.
So on Winston's side, he's ulting right now. Unfortunately, you can't see it, but he can't do it while he's ulting. But his alternate fire there, which he's doing right now, there it is. You can charge up like a condensed blast of lightning from his gun and fire it off as a single sort of like blast attack at longer range. And so he actually, the charge up is kind of interesting with it for him because you can do it while you're leaping, and so there's like theoretically more burst combos you can do where you're jumping on top of somebody, charging up in the air, and burst, release it right before you land on them, and then you get the stomp damage too, and you can shock them or do a quick melee combo. It's a lot more interesting things. On top of the fact that, with some players know a lot of times you're
I wonder how far he
you know, shot
goes.
somebody, they're getting away. You think you can finish them, and they just like fair boost away, or somebody just barely gets away. You get that extra, alternate fire shot.
Yeah,
to
they
try to
all
take
have
them out of the
abilities.
way, and it's actually interesting playing against him now
It's
because
a
you now are cognizant
5v5
of that. So
game.
sometimes you're leaving a little earlier, like, well, I'm gonna get blasted probably if I just like run away. So I have to be able to survive that.
Yeah, I think that's one of the decisions all Winston players face. It's like, okay, I've jumped on this player, I've gotten them weak.
30
I
second
can either now
cooldown.
get out of my bubble and try to finish them off, or just kind of hope a teammate does. But now giving him, I think it kind of goes back to more like that player, agency that you were talking about, being able to kind of take over the game, being able to finish it off. The nano boosted Ryan.
And Reinhardt's
this'll
gonna
never
be
get old. Just seeing Reinhardt nano boosted, just swinging. I'm sure it makes the fans out there happy that I know that.
I mean, it's gonna be. Oh man, I don't know.
Genji, he
How do
was
I
able
feel
to
now?
take out his, it's kind of the bane of existence
It seems
of a lot of people.
It seems like
this
you
looks like, I guess,
need
the second checkpoint, right?
a shield.
So this will unlock the interior.
Of Grand Central Station.
Oh, this is awesome. So it goes in. So the payload kind of goes inside of the station and kind of curves around, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And you can see the payload is driven by an Omnic, who is a little Easter egg to our production director on the team. Our executive producer.
He got a name.
Yes, Chaco.
Chaco.
He's gonna be a fan.
Oh, Chaco.
Oh, he's even got it on the back. I didn't realize. I thought it was like an unofficial name. Like, oh yeah, it's Chaco.
No,
Nope, he's got the suit.
Our executive producer, so he's helped us out a lot, and it was only fitting. He has
He's lived in New York as well,
Yeah.
so he helped out a lot.
The UI looks so.
And we have countless
boring.
debates about the right type of pizza.
On if
with
this
him
is.
as well.
I mean, I don't think this is the final.
Yeah, I mean, New York style pizza is the dominant pizza. I believe it's the water, but that is probably for a different stream.
Yeah, do you really want to get into this?
My thoughts on the water in New York creating the better pizza dough. You also notice, at least I noticed, the new sounds, especially when like Ash.
Yeah, I wasn't even
that is
focusing on the sound.
It was discussed at BlizzCon Line, but I think it's different to kind of see it in action and also to see all of the other players at the same time with those audio changes. It just makes the game feel even more realistic.
Yeah, the sounds can get really punchy.
Oh, okay.
It just feels
The sound
good
of
to hold the trigger down with
Soldier.
these different heroes.
You can.
But you
that
also get
sounds
more
different.
information from it. So we've spent a lot of time not just developing what these sounds
Actually, it
are,
sounds
but
good.
how
I
they
like it.
play in different environments. So we've kind of upgraded the entire sound system across the game. So let's say when that Ash is in a side room firing from that room, you really kind of understand where they're at and what type of environment that they're in better than you did before, and then you can kind of take that information and make different decisions or additional
And that's
decisions.
the
because of
end.
it.
Okay.
All right, so we got a map complete from the offense here. Not bad in their first go. The players are so competitive. I have to say this to the stream that we were like, yeah, this is fun. Like everybody have a great time, and then
Who are
everyone
they?
was like, put your SR in the chat. We're gonna make balanced teams. Like who's playing what? It's just I feel like it's just the nature of Overwatch, right? Like it always starts off, yeah, let's play for fun, and then you
Oh,
lose
look,
a game,
Jeff.
You're like, all right. Like
Jeff,
everybody
is
pick
that
it up.
from
Let's change things.
Jeff
It's like that
Kaplan?
meme when you're playing, relaxing your chair, and then you lose, and you lean
Like
forward,
Jeff?
get a little more, get the game winning posture.
It's those nights of ranked where you lose like 2 and you're like you win 1 and then
Like
you're
a
like,
little
"All right,
Easter
play
egg
to
for
lose,"
Jeff
and then
Kaplan?
You lose a few more, and then the next thing you know, you wake up, you're like, well, why'd I do that? Like 500 SR down the drain. That's so this will be an opportunity to see like Roadhog has a solo tank coming in for the offensive side here. I feel like he's just gonna be. Even on live, right? He just takes up so much space.
Did you have
Jeff,
anything new?
and he takes up space not with a shield, but like just his body. As I say that,
But
we
he's
have a
there.
Zarya swap.
Nothing
But,
new. And so
talk to me a little bit about like the thoughts on how like the Roadhogs of the world, Divas, even Zarya. I know there's some interesting stuff with Zarya as a solo tank.
yeah, I mean,
So, like I
it's
said,
starting.
a lot of this is still work in progress. We're still sort of addressing hero by hero.
So it's
But like because
they have
once
a
we started
Zarya.
going to one tank, it was sort of the
So
big
she
question was,
got-
like kind of how
She
what
got
direction do we push
4
your tank? Are we
bubbles?
we're trying to make Roadhog, a lot more static defensively and have big barriers or something to protect?
Oh
the
wait,
team?
no.
Or do we want more the opposite, where like we take the Reinhardts and the Sigmas and actually give them some more aggression and be a little more.
Whoa! That's different. So she can either bubble herself twice or bubble
not only is it just
her teammate
to have that
twice.
kind of extra speed and aggression.
So it's no longer 1-1.
But people had a lot of comments on in the past. When the metas
how's
get
the cooldown though?
Full of barriers and shields, and honestly, even sometimes when there's just
what's the cooldown? Okay, so it's
the one
little
Orisa
circle
blocking you with just the chain shields, and it's just like. People had comments like, "Oh, I feel like I'm
so those seems long." Yeah, I'm looking at it. I mean, at the same time, you don't want to make Zarya strong.
Live game, I've been trying to address
so,
this, but once we
got into
this situation, we're like,
that's a hard one,
actually here to reduce a lot of these effects.
So it's gonna be 5v5 now. No
block huge abilities.
2 DPS, 2 healers, 1 tank.
Less than they had before. But then in response to that, we get to. You can see Reinhardt here. He can hit the wall right there.
He's getting
cancel. You can cancel your charge, and you can get two fire strikes. So the canceling charge is one of those like
this is a new map
things that seems like to some people might be kind of a minor change, but
New York,
it almost like completely changes how he plays a lot of ways. It's actually really fun because you can. It has a really fast recovery when you cancel. So you can like charge up to a group and then cancel and immediately ult and just like knock everyone down. So the fact that you can even do that is its own now like sort of mini game that people play where you can kind of bluff with it. If people know you have your ult or think you have your ult, you can just charge right at them, and they're trying not to get stunned. Like they don't want to fight you necessarily like normally because they don't want to get earth shattered. So sometimes you can like bluff people and are running for cover. and didn't even have
it can be Echo and have 2 tanks.
And it also just allows him to get in there and be more aggressive without sacrificing his health bar.
Yeah, it just sounds like another change, almost like how you kind of mentioned like stuff like that Winston combo, kind of as you're playing and testing and seeing all these different things. Like, yeah, where the Winston combo, you can load up that secondary fire, get the jump damage, land on somebody, take them out, like. That you kind of have this
all the new
meta
stuff.
game with like Reinhardt play, right? Where now you kind of have like this another layer of canceling the charge, being able to.
And the way the guns sound.
Clip, I think from BlizzCon Line and just like a trailer where he charges towards the team, cancels, and then shatters them all. Being able to make plays like that just seems.
I want to see D.Va.
So sick.
What does D.Va have?
The ability to control
the
his
sound of it.
More. So you can actually
sniper.
turn around corners more.
Oh yeah.
Is this the Overwatch 2 engine? Yeah, this is Overwatch 2. They're showing everything new.
I think something else that's really interesting, if you look at if people have noticed what's happening with Zarya,
it's gonna be 5v5 now, Ruben.
To her bubble now.
But they share charges. Is the trick. It's actually what we playtested in the April Fool's patch. So as people probably noted, like some of those changes a lot of them were just silly, kind of fun, like permanently flying Sigma. But there were some changes we threw in there. I was like, let's see how people react to this. I'm curious what people think. Like maybe this is something we can try. And the Zarya bubbles is one of those things. So
Aaron,
it's something we just recently kind of put in,
right?
Is Zarya tryhard?
It took me a while to get used to the new changes, but once I really dug in and
if I'm good at the game,
with these changes, I realized it's how I always wanted to play Reinhardt this way, basically. The charge in and
yeah, we were joking about that the other day, where I'm like, yeah, like the.
Oh, here comes the Lucio on the back.
So right, that
just ignoring. Here comes. Well, I mean, he's gonna try and kill.
Just charging into walls.
Right.
That I was like, wait.
I guess
I don't have to do this.
So Widow.
I can just go. Like, it's such like a great quality of life change.
Look at Torbjorn.
Yeah, something else I think that's
nothing
really
new with
interesting here is,
Torbjorn.
like this fight's been going on for a while. Neither tank has fallen. And the support had been doing such a good job at keeping the tanks up because there's only one of them that they have to actually focus on, and the fights feel really, really good being the tank player now. Like the amount of times you get into this situation where it feels hopeless.
The way it sounds, Hansel's bow.
There's a bunch of the enemy players focusing on you, and you're able to still come out of it. It feels so incredibly good, and you feel
the pain.
Powerful.
Yeah, it's I think that has to be something that you guys have kind of gotten in feedback, that from a support point of view, you're able to dump resources into just one tank, and that also probably frees you up to do a little bit of other stuff, right? Where Batiste can do a little bit more damage. Zen, you can kind of orb the tank and then focus on the damage. That probably has to be way easier in support.
Pinata's useless.
For sure. Yeah, we got a lot of
Doo-doo character.
feedback from support players. It's a lot easier to focus, and a lot of times you almost have this like.
I mean, I do like the sound of
communication
when
between
he's
the two
shooting the
support players,
balls.
and you have like.
It does sound
Mercy's
good.
like, I'm just gonna be on tank duty and just be on tank basically the whole time, and you have like a Lucio or something like that just to spot heal everybody else and speed everybody up. But there's other strats. Like sometimes we've seen people go too big. Main healers,
And that
essentially,
Hansel
try to just
fucked up.
focus so hard on their tank that even with like Discord Orb on him, it's just hard to kill him. So that's going to be an interesting strat too. So I'm not even sure like what the quote unquote meta is entirely yet, especially because we're changing things all the time. I guess it's pretty hard for them to settle. But
Yeah.
it's been a lot
Man,
of
it's
fun.
gonna be chill,
This
man.
Zen
I feel like.
UI is,
I mean, then again, I don't
new.
know.
It actually looks really.
I just
cool.
feel like shields is gonna
this
be
something obviously that's
important.
incredibly new. I think on live. Like,
But if there's
kind of
only
displayed on the
one
Yeah,
tank
yeah,
now.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Jeff.
I was saying we're generally looking at.
Yeah,
anywhere we
yeah,
can
it does. Right, you see on the.
hero-specific
Oh, I
UI
did
stuff
not
like this.
notice
We felt like
that.
this could use a big update and it'd be a lot more readable.
But yeah,
I think
it
one of the things
says
I'm most excited about with
in the Overwatch
healer
now,
UI
it says
is,
the name of the
It's
person.
not just on Zen, but
But
it's on Mercy
now
also.
I'm
You
looking-
see the portrait.
Yeah,
of
you see the
of the
portrait.
player that you're healing. And so it's just a lot easier to kind
Oh,
of figure
that's
out who you've
awesome.
got instead of
That's
just
actually
using
pretty
something
good.
like a name.
And then you can
know.
see
And
you can
Yeah,
see who you
it's not off
orb
to the side,
and how
right? It's,
much
like,
health
centered
they
screen,
have.
so you're able to still kind of focus down the middle.
Yo,
Yeah, and you can see
that's
his
pretty
Discord is
big.
down there as well.
That way you
So
can be
have,
like, oh,
army
he's
Discord
low,
orbs
he's
are
low,
kind of both,
he's one.
shown on each side.
Yo,
of
appreciate
the,
it. Have a great
of the
day.
ult at the bottom of the
Have fun
screen.
with the shorts.
We have an overtime here.
That's
I
pretty
can imagine
cool.
The comms are, everybody's starting to get pretty sweaty now. We get towards the end of the
That way
map.
you know when you're healing,
This
you
is
don't have
really
to keep
big.
an
I
eye
gotta
on
say for
your
you guys,
healer,
probably,
who you're
this
healing.
is probably
That's
awesome
pretty
to see,
good.
like
That's
the
a
game
good
actually.
change.
It's one thing I think to play, but now to like observe and be
Oh.
able to watch, and obviously
Winston
the people you
shoot
guys work with every day.
lightning
That's
bolt
pretty awesome.
now.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, it definitely
what-
is. We've been playing it in this state